Well, good morning. It's wonderful to be with you if it's morning your time or afternoon, evening. It is May 2nd, 2022. And I wanted to start this morning or this afternoon your time um, talking a little bit about a project that I've been involved with. It is a monarch tracking project. Um, Locally, we have a monarch sanctuary, if you will, or a spot where they breed, and they come to rest in the winter. And several of us who visit that location have been asked if we want to participate in a project through an app where we can actually track the monarchs that we see locally or when we're traveling around and about the West. We can put in monarch sightings. And so essentially when we see one, we track the monarch and we can establish where the migration patterns are, where they're nesting, where the milkweed is, where they lay their eggs. And this information is so critical for protecting and conserving the monarchs and tracking their numbers. So I found this such a gift because I have been so drawn to nature with all of the craziness in the world. It just brings me such peace of mind, such connection with our world around us. And I just noticed that I pay more attention to what is happening in my own environment, just looking for monarchs. So as I've been doing this, I learned two remarkable things about monarchs that I wanted to share with you. The first is that it takes 3 to 5 generations of monarch butterflies to complete the annual northward migration until the final generation is hatched. And these are called super monarchs. And the super monarchs essentially, once they're hatched, they complete the return migration to their resting place for the winter. I was just thinking about this, like when you think about unity consciousness and the power of the collective to achieve its goals, I was thinking, wow, the monarch has really something to teach us. The second bit of info that I discovered is that monarchs know the way that they go, the direction that they're going without even ever having been there. So they rely solely on an internal compass that points them in the right direction and gets them to where they need to go. So you imagine that, going to a place where you've never been before without a map, without knowing how to get there. It is really one of the most incredible phenomenon in the natural world. So I loved sharing that. I love learning that this week and excited to share that with you. And of course, I thought about the parallels with the human experience and the experience of meditation, and that hasn't been lost on me. We have this internal compass, and meditation is an opportunity for us to access it. The awareness that lives through you as you. And by being in a place of stillness, we begin to tune into that divine guidance. And we never know what might show up to give us direction. I also read this author, lecturer, professor, Parker J. Palmer, who talks a lot about this in his work. And he says, first of all, we have an inner teacher whose guidance is more reliable than anything we can get from doctrine, from ideology, our collective belief system, institution, or leader. And second, we all need other people to invite and amplify and help us discern the inner teacher's voice. So there's the solo journey of going within and focusing on our inner compass. And then there's the collective journey where we work with each other to help understand whether we have triggers or beliefs. We work with others in our lives to help understand ourselves better. So today we'll tune in to our own stillness with a simple breath and body awareness meditation. I always love to share a few essentials with everyone, especially if you haven't meditated before. So the first one is it's okay to have thoughts. Thoughts are natural. They're a natural part of the human experience. It's in the nature of the mind to think as it is in the nature of the eyes to see. So if you have thoughts, which we always do, just notice when you have them. And when you do, bring your focus back to the breath or the body awareness that we're going to be doing today. The second one is not to try too hard to have a certain experience. Just tune into the experience that you're having. I love to think of it as using the beginner's mind. You know, if you or a child, your childlike curiosity, if you're doing this for the first time, or if you're not, acting as if you're doing it for the first time. And letting go of any expectations that you have. It's really important to treat every meditation as if it's your first meditation, and you welcome everything really and resist nothing. The fourth one is always to be kind to yourself. It doesn't hurt, or it doesn't help you to hurt yourself, to say negative things about yourself in your meditation. Whatever happens, happens. And we always owe it to ourselves to be kind, like a good friend would be kind to us. There's no right or wrong. And then the last one is to stick with the practice. So we'll be practicing today for about 10 or 15 minutes. Even if it gets challenging for you or you're very distracted, just return to your breath or the body scan that we're doing. It's like training for the mind. You know, when you go to the gym and you work out, you're building your muscle. This is a different kind of muscle, right? This is your mental muscle. And the more that you do it, the stronger it gets. So we'll be closing our eyes during the practice. And if at any time you feel uncomfortable with your eyes closed, you're welcome to open them and close them back if you'd like, or you can gaze softly at a point in front of you if you feel more comfortable with that. All right, so on that note, let's begin. I invite you to get comfortable if you aren't already, and relatively still. You can put your hands in your lap if you'd like. You can have them on the arms of the chair. You can have them in a hand mudra if you'd like to do that, if you do yoga. And I generally recommend that you sit in a position that allows you to be both relaxed and alert, whatever that means for you. And focus on aligning your head, your neck, and your spine. If there's anything that you can do right now to adjust and make yourself even 10% more comfortable, I welcome you to do that now. And if you haven't, go ahead and close your eyes. And begin by taking 3 long and slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. This is a signal to your body. It's okay to relax. It's a time now to switch from your usual mode of doing to non-doing, to simply being. There's nowhere to go. There's no place to be. Simply be right here, right now. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. And begin by bringing your awareness to the sounds in the environment that you notice. Perhaps starting with the sounds that you notice that are further away. And then notice any sounds that are closer to you in your environment. perhaps tuning into the quality of the sounds. Notice the sounds that are constant, or perhaps the sounds that come and go, arising from the stillness and returning to the stillness. And now bringing your attention to any sounds within your body. Take your attention to one sound in particular. And notice the qualities of the sound that you hear. Let your attention rest on that sound. Perhaps you notice another sound. And if you do, move your attention to that sound. And notice any qualities with that sound. And now the next sound. Continuing to notice the sounds in your environment and continuing to let them wash over you more and more quickly. No judgment about the sounds you can hear. Just bringing mindful awareness to any and all sounds that you hear. Now become aware of the body and notice where your attention is drawn to first. Perhaps an awareness of some discomfort in the body. Perhaps the light touch of air on the skin. Maybe an awareness of sensations in the body. Some tingling, constriction, or perhaps different parts of the body that feel cooler or warmer. Just allow the awareness to scan across the body, tuning into and noticing anything that you feel without judgment, and allowing it to be exactly as it is. And if you notice that your thoughts are telling you a story about what is happening in your body, simply redirect your attention to the sensations that you feel, your breath, bringing your awareness now to the breath. Notice where you are most conscious of the breath in the body. Notice how the body moves as you breathe. Notice the temperature of the breath on the inhale and how it might shift on the exhale. Become fully aware of all the different aspects of breathing. And simply rest now in the comfort of your breath. Now bring your awareness to your thoughts. Simply observing the thoughts as though you're sitting from a distance, observing a child playing or observing a family member washing dishes or nature and butterflies at play. Simply noticing the thoughts as they come and they go. And if you become aware of the mind being busy, simply allow it to be exactly as it is. Perhaps you put a label on it, such as thinking, thinking. Simply noticing your thoughts. And if you notice a story, perhaps a judgment, simply return to thinking, thinking. And then observe. Now take your awareness to any emotions you're experiencing. Perhaps there's one or two stronger emotions that might be present. And if there's not, that's perfectly fine. Perhaps you have a mix of feelings. Perhaps you are uncertain of how you're feeling. Just allow any emotions that you feel, if you do, to arise and move through your awareness in their own time. Simply allow the emotions to be as you rest in awareness and observe. Now bring your awareness to all of your experiences, the sensations you're aware of, the experience of being in the body, the experience of breathing, the thoughts and feelings that are present for you. When you bring mindful awareness to the present moment, you allow things to be exactly as they are. Nothing needs to change. Everything is okay exactly as it is. Perhaps you can say to yourself silently, I am here. I am present. I am mindfully aware of this moment. I am perfect, whole, and complete. Rest here in the silence and stillness for another few moments. I'll keep track of the time. As this meditation comes to a close, I invite you to gradually become aware of the space around you, perhaps beginning by bringing some movement to the body, wiggling your fingers or mindfully adjusting your feet. If your eyes are closed, you're welcome to keep them closed for a bit longer. There's no rush. It's important to ease out of meditation as you bring movement and mindfulness back into your day, into the busy. And when you're ready, you can gently blink your eyes open. So I'd like to close today's meditation with a quote that I read. I thought was beautiful from Neil Donald Walsh. He wrote the series Conversations with God. And he says, in every moment, God expresses himself or herself in, as, and through you. Built into you is an internal guidance system that shows you the way home. This is the voice that speaks to you always of your highest choice, that places before you your grandest vision. So I want to thank you all for meditating with me today. The light in me honors and sees the light in every single one of you. Namaste. So I'm going to stop the recording here.